show you how to do the camel stitch. So you've done your first half double crochet row, chain one and turn, and instead of working in the regular stitch, you'll work in that front third loop. So you yarn over, go to that front loop, and basically do your half double crochet. We're gonna mark that stitch so we remember and see exactly where it is when we get to that second row. So we're working on the first row now. The first row you work in that front third loop and you finish with your half double crochet as you do regularly. So you repeat this until you get to the end. It goes quickly once you get the hang of it, so just continue your half double crochet, working in that front third loop until the end. So we're at the end of the row. We're going to do the last camel stitch, row 1, in that last stitch, and we are going to make sure that we have the exact number of stitches. Always count. So I had 12 half double crochet, have 12 again. See the texture that is forming. So chain 1 and turn, and now we're going to do the second row. So you're going to work in that back loop, or in the V in the back, instead of working in the stitch. So the first back loop, if I can call it like this. And we're going to mark it again with a stitch marker so that we know at the end of the row where to place our stitch. So yarn over. Again, we're going to work in that stitch in the back, that loop in the back, sorry. You have to turn your work to see it. Again, yarn over, turn it, work in that loop, the back of the stitch instead of the stitch at the top. You're gonna get the hang of it once you start repeating that stitch. At the beginning can be a bit tricky, but turn your work and find that loop and then repeat. Just making sure that you don't miss any of the stitch. Otherwise you won't get your count at the end. This is why I always count. I know it takes time, but it's better to be sure than have to restart in the middle of your work. So again, you turn your work and you work your half double crochet until you get at the end of the row. And having that stitch marker will help identify where to place your stitch. So I have to place the last ones. Here you go. Again, you count 2, 3, 4, and 12. This is how you see the texture is starting to magically appear. So you're going to chain 1 again and turn, and now you repeat row 1. So working in that front third loop. I'm not sure if I'm using the right terms, but that's how I call them. The front third loop and then the back loop, which is probably not right, but it gets the job done. So you work again in that front third loop until you get to the end. So we're getting at the end of this row, that row 1 that we're repeating. So placing our last stitch, chain 1 and turn. And then we're going to repeat row 2, working in that back loop instead of the regular stitch. So the first loop of these back V's that you're gonna see. You just turn your work and you're gonna see the first loop. So that's your repeat. Oops, I forgot to put my stitch marker, or move my stitch marker up. It's important to put it back so that you're sure to place your stitch at the right place. So here it is. The camel stitch is a repeat of row 1 and row 2. And then you're going to see the pattern forming. So happy stitching!